America, America, nush America, nush America, America, America, nush America, nush America, pesenye lavare velken, are velken, garungane gavana zoven, vana zoven, harsiktaran megrageden, harsiktaran megrageden. Pesenye gavare velken, are velken, garungane gavana zoven, vana zoven, harsiktaran megrageden, harsiktaran megrageden. America, America, nush America, nush America, America, America, nush America, nush America. Yes, garibim kunchunim, hay America, America, gişernere kunchunim, hay America, America, rehanem terevchunim, hay America, America, arans kezi kunchunim, barova yertang harsanik, America, America, America, hay America, America, hay America, America, America, barova yertang harsanik. Hivandem terik chunim, hay America, America, zaravem jörik chunim, hay America, America, meruem megrik chunim, hay America, America, arans kezi tarchunim, hay America, America, hay America, America, America, hay America, America, hay America, America, America, barov ganang harsanik, hay America, America, America, hay America, America, hay America, America, America, barov ganang harsanik, ach America, America, America, ach hayrika, hayrika, hayrika, sharuna genk yerkenk barel kezi hamar akhbarik, bolore senk akhbarik, bolore senk antanik, sharuna genk yerkenk barel kezi hamar akhbarik, ach marik, marik, marik, ach hayrik, hayrik, hayrik, sharuna genk yerkenk barel kezi hamar akhbarik, bolore senk akhbarik, bolore senk antanik, sharuna genk yerkenk barel kezi hamar akhbarik.
İyi akşamlar.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tilbe Saran. On behalf of Hrant Dink Foundation, I would like to welcome you all. Sevana Çakıryan has played for us and sang for us. We would like to thank her very much indeed. This is the 10th anniversary of the Hrant Dink Awards, and we are delighted to be here with you today. As Hrant Dink Foundation, we have been continuing our work on human rights, and here we are once again at this International Award ceremony. As you know, today marks Hrant Dink's birthday, and we are inspired by his life and his legacy, and this is what propelled us to establish this foundation, which is dedicated to his life and his struggle for conscience, equality, and human rights. And we strive to recognize the struggles of those around the world who work in this regard. And taking this opportunity, we look at what is going on around the world, and we acknowledge the hard work that these people are engaged in on a global scale. We strive for a world that is free of discrimination, inequality, and we are acknowledging those who take risks to create the language of peace, to use the language of peace, and to establish a world where human rights and equality prevail. And we would like to say, you are not alone to those who work to this end. Without further ado, I would like to leave the stage to dear Raquel Dink, who is going to address us on behalf of the foundation.
İyi akşamlar. Sevgili dostlar.
Good evening, dear friends and distinguished guests.
Sireli peygamber. Havalu hogiren me. Am hami khair hatun. Bugün çutak.
Today is the 64th birthday of my Çutak. I would like to welcome you all to the decennial ceremony of the award we named after him in order to celebrate his life and his struggle, as well as similar struggles by others. Dear friends, for a long time now, I've felt like I've been in a bad dream that I want to wake up from. I wish everything that happened on January 19th, 2007 and afterwards were only a horrible dream. The level of tension and uncertainty in our country is mind-blowing. We are consumed with resentment, perplexity, sadness, and numbness. No one is able to grasp how we ended up like this. To quote the Holy Bible, I want to wake up to a land where there are no feet quick to rush into evil, no false witness who pour out lies. I want to wake up to a world, to a Turkey, where no one is fomenting strife among peoples. I want to wake up from this bad dream. I want to wake up to a day in my country that witnesses the Saturday mothers receiving an apology, the whereabouts of all missing persons being disclosed, and thousands gathered at Galatasaray Square laying carnations only to commemorate them. I want to wake up to a state government where everything is transparent and open, never to sink to this level again. Many of our friends and loved ones who would have loved more than anything to be with us today are either abroad or in jail. At the same time, the perpetrators of the 80s and 90s are trying to secure a place for themselves in this new order. I want to wake up to a day where people are not afraid of expressing or hearing different opinions, where hopes for democracy, peace, and coming to terms with our recent and distant past flourish once again. I want to wake up to a day where there is no injustice, no humiliation, no contemptuous eyes, no hands shedding innocent blood, no lying tongues, and no wicked hearts. I want to wake up from my sleep. I want to wake up to a Turkey where justice is in place, where no murders, abuses, or sexual assaults take place. I want to wake up to a Turkey that cries out, "Never again." Despite all the threats he received, Hrant remained full of hope, so much so that he found it outrageous even to consider abandoning his friends and country in the struggle for democracy and moving to the paradise of ready-made freedoms. The most vital part of his legacy to us today is to believe in this society, to believe that this society and all humanity can do far better. I wish we could understand that the only way out of this nightmare is to live together. I wish the genuine and common goals of states were not to kill people, but to keep them alive. I wish everyone could live their lives with the conviction that life is more precious than all else. Dear friends, tonight, once again, we will be introduced to some very distinguished individuals. People who are courageous, determined, who never give up in their demand for justice and freedom despite the risks, who will inspire us and the rest of the world to carry on with hope. We salute all the laureates of these awards, who we admire for their unwavering persistence, all who shine in their inspiration, and all those people in all corners of the world who continue to struggle to this end. Thank you.
Uluslararası Hrant Dink Ödülü'nün 10.
On behalf of the 10th anniversary of the International Hrant Dink Award, we have a very special guest amongst us, Douglas Johnson. In the 70s, well, actually starting from the 70s, he has been a human rights defender. In 1977, he stood up against Nestlè, one of the biggest food companies in the world, and started a boycott so that they would change their marketing methods. And then on behalf of UNICEF and World Health Organization, he devised an international marketing method to promote breastfeeding and mother's milk, and he acted as a consultant to many South American nations. In the 80s, he worked at the Center for Survivors of Torture and worked for the rehabilitation of torture sufferers and created a fund of $25 million per annum. And he worked tirelessly for human rights organizations and initiated a new project to seek new tactics in tactics. And in 2004, with the Helsinki Citizens Assembly, organized a symposium in Ankara, and a new NGO by the name of New Tactics was established to promote human rights defenders, and he still teaches at Harvard University. And now, for the opening remarks, I would like to give the word to Mr. Douglas Johnson.
İyi akşamlar. I didn't know Hrant Dink, so I was a bit surprised to be asked to help open this event, but also thrilled, especially because of its purpose of honoring creative, brave, distinguished activists from Turkey, but also around the world. But I have to say that so many of the people I love in Turkey loved Hrant Dink. And so I always felt as though I must have known him. and Shirley would have loved him as well. So I'm doubly honored to be here tonight with you. As I thought about what to say, certainly the stories of courage are very common among my friends when they talk about Hrant. So I thought that perhaps the question of what courage is, what it looks like, would be an appropriate theme for my opening talk. And it struck me, I study strategy, I study organizations in conflict, and one of the things we realize is that if our way is clear, if our methods are well understood and are effective, if our environment is gentle and plentiful, then we don't need leaders. We don't need strategy, and we don't need courage. But we're human beings, and we've never really experienced these conditions. And it's exactly because we're in times of trouble that we have to consider both our own courage, but the kind of courage our leaders need to have on our behalf, and how we shape effective strategy as well. And given Turkey is in time of trouble, and may I add, so is the United States, it's good that we consider these issues together. So people talked about Hrant as courageous because he would say uncomfortable things. He would say things that the state did not want to be public, that it wanted to be hidden. And that is an important kind of courage. But the part that fascinated me in the stories about Hrant as I was reading the biography was his capacity not just to identify breaches between people, but his desire to heal them, to reach out to people who even violently disagreed with them, and expose each other to our common humanity and heal. And I hadn't expected that, and I found that that's the part that surprised me and therefore delighted me, that gave me joy to think about who this man was and the multiple kinds of courage that he displayed. So we all know this image and this man, and we can admire his courage at this time. But think about it. Do you want to emulate this man? Do you want, more specifically, your child to be the one standing in front of that tank? In fact, don't we, as we admire this person, don't we also understand that his action is more than a little bit crazy? He, of course, has disappeared into history, but sometimes what we think about as being courageous is so out on the edge that we can't imitate it. And we really can't ask our communities to imitate it. We can't ask each other to be this kind of courageous. And so we have to be willing to consider what we mean by courageous, what we're capable of, and we need to ask our leaders to create the conditions under which we can be courageous without being crazy. Especially, let's face it, the kind of courage that many of us need is how to get out of bed in the morning and face another day in troubled times. That is a kind of courage, and one I think all of the winners of the Hrant Dink Award have had to face themselves, facing risk, facing doubt, perhaps facing danger. How do we get out of bed in the morning to face it once again? Now, it is possible to stand alone, and sometimes that's good, but I love this image. I love this story, which of course initially was a big surprise, but now we understand it better. But what I love about this story is not the individual, but the individual who created space for others, safe space, to also demonstrate their concerns. And this is a kind of courage that's about creativity. It's a kind of courage about pushing the boundaries to explore what's safe, what's unsafe. And in the process of doing that, looking for space that others can also act. And this is really important. We are social animals, and we need to work together. Dictatorships seek to keep us apart. They seek to isolate us through fear. But we need each other, and it's through being together that we find courage, that we find bravery. And the lovely part about this particular tactic is it invited the young and the old, men, women, children, to participate. It was highly symbolic, but it created space, and most important, it demonstrated to everyone that we are not alone. In the face of new repression, we are not alone. And that's essential leadership in troubled times. There's another kind of courage, the courage of persistence. And this is a kind of courage that is most common exactly when we are in a group that reinforces not only our courage to stand together, but the persistence of getting out of bed to do it. We can admire this kind of courage because we also can see ourselves, even if we're not there, we could see ourselves being part of it. It affects our imagination about what's possible, and it gives us a moral example that we can imagine we could emulate. We can emulate this in a way we couldn't emulate and shouldn't really emulate standing in front of the tank on our own. Now, a different kind of courage emerges that's somewhat intellectual, but it requires a great deal of courage, and that's the courage to be strategic. That's the courage to decide we will do this with this target and not that. And it is a kind of moral courage because it usually demands that we stop something we're doing so we could concentrate our resources in something new. And as Marshall Gantt says, we're doing this not knowing whether we will win or whether we will fail. We're only hypothesizing. We're guessing that this is the right action. And nonetheless, we commit ourselves to it. We commit ourselves to victory, and we commit ourselves to defeat, if that's what it is, because our world is full of risk and doubt. And we can be frozen by that, or we can try and consider how we can be most effective. Now, this is Venezuela. My own view is that the rise of these elected authoritarians all around the world, Philippines, Venezuela, Turkey, Hungary, etc., the United States, elected authoritarians present a new kind of challenge to us. But for me, what it makes clear is that it's important that we think about not being isolated small groups, not being correct in every detail, but realizing we as Democrats have a responsibility to be the majority. We have a responsibility to do what it takes to create a majority that wins elections, but also that provides power over the forces of authoritarianism. That's our responsibility. Now, in Venezuela, they had the majority, but they didn't win. And I think there were a couple of things to consider about why this has continued to drag on despite being the majority. One of those things is that we talked about the power of persistence as a virtue, but it is also a failure. It's a failure when our imagination is so constrained by what we do and the dogma that this is the right thing to do, that we fail to be flexible. And in Venezuela, the view was, oh, to be effective in opposition, we have to have huge rallies, and huge rallies every day, and huge rallies every day. And what happens is that, of course, the government learns how to deal with it. We conveniently concentrate ourselves in one spot, so the government conveniently concentrates its forces in one spot, and learns how to control us. Yet what we need is flexibility that creates surprise, that makes our opponent make mistakes. We need to disperse rather than concentrate. At times, surprise. Again, that's what I liked about Hrant Dink, is his willingness to surprise, and therefore be in control of the agenda. So that's one kind of courage which is very important, and maybe one of the most difficult, and that is the courage to criticize our friends, and especially to criticize our dogmas of what we think is the right way to act, and instead demand of ourselves creativity, flexibility, and to understand our goal is to put our opponent off balance, to make mistakes. Martin Luther King had a wonderful phrase where he talked about if we are lucky, our opponent will make a mistake, and that's where we create wins. As I said, though, there was another kind of courage that was missing in Venezuela. Now, who are these guys, white guys in suits and ties? I've given up ties myself. They look, in my imagination, very uncomfortable with each other. And this looks like a Photoshop. What is it? Well, these are the 8 leaders of the opposition political parties in Serbia. And for decades, they fought with each other about who was right and who would have power. And as a result, Milosevic kept power. Finally, this group of people found the courage to set aside their personal political ambitions, the preciseness of their dogma, and they looked for a vision that they could hold in common, and they agreed for one candidate to represent the opposition in the election. They had the courage to step back from some of the issues that they felt most dear in order to think of the greater good. The Venezuelan opposition still hasn't done that. So the courage shown by the people there has not been matched by political leaders. So that's the kind of courage we need to demand from leaderships. And we need ourselves to recognize that compromise can be often the most courageous act that we can perform. I love this picture. We are here to honor Hrant Dink, the man, but also the icon, the legend. We're here to honor the brave individuals who represent courage and a fighting spirit. But also, we want to recognize that they are people that most profoundly, each and every one of these winners, I guarantee you, has felt the fear of losing, has felt a sense of panic about being wrong, has felt isolated and afraid, and has had to find multiple kinds of courage that are appropriate to address the problems that they have at that point. And I think as we look back at someone like Hrant Dink, we want to keep thinking of him not as one thing, but as a multi-dimensional rich person who was a fisher of men and women. Yes, as Christ said, pulling them in new ways. But we also need to remember he was a fisher of fish. And for that also we can love him. Thank you very much.
Douglas.
We would like to thank Douglas Johnson both for his nice words and for always leading the way for us. Yes, tonight is a night of solidarity. Unfortunately, in human rights struggles, every day we see scenes of violence and pain, but tonight we're not going to look at them, but we're going to look at those who inspire us. We will get to know those who inspire us, who shed light for us. We will celebrate those who work for equality, and we will support them from all corners of the world, from Africa, from America, and from Asia. We have inspirations who actually inspire us and shed the lights for humanity with their actions. As the Hrant Dink Award community, we try to celebrate these people who struggle and who paved the way for us. And as you know, every year we salute them under the name of inspirations. And it's our duty to look for them, to search them, find them, and salute them and greet them. So before we continue with the inspirations of this year, let's take a look at last year's inspirations so that they will inspire all of us. Yes, here are the inspirations of the last 10 years.
Dayanışma ve direnişleriyle işçi haklarını ileriye taşıyan
Yeni Çeltek mine workers who improved workers' rights with their struggle, and automotive workers in Bursa and Kazova workers. Romedio Foundation from Hungary. Desislava Dobra Petrova from Bulgaria, who fight for the rights of LGBT. Istanbul group of LGBT families. Pink Armenia from Armenia. Claudio Castelia, artist from Chile. From Uganda, Pepe Julian Onzeima, who fought a campaign for the withdrawal of the law for the execution of gays. Saudi Arabian feminist singer Mejit Alaisia. AFEL, founded in Liberia by women lawyers. Women's Solidarity in Gambia, banning female genital mutilation. Afghani artist Kübra Kademi. Biyanet, who initiated the This Is My Decision campaign against abortion ban in Turkey. Bites for All from Pakistan. And Let Toys Be Toys group from UK. Those who protested the mass transportation price increases in Armenia. Gezi Park Library, who fought during the Gezi resistance Electric Yerevan movement protesting the rise in electricity prices in Armenia. A Marching for Peace initiative from Turkey, Haydarpaşa Solidarity Platform. Kamperman resistance, who was able to stop the demolishment of the Armenian child camp, Camp Armen in Istanbul, Tuzla. The Earth Tables that was initiated in the Ramadan of 2014. Those who made no discrimination of political parties, religion, language, and gender after the 15th of July 2016 coup attempt against coups, and AEK fans from Greece, the Migrants Network of Solidarity, Lebanese American Mark Kaban, who fought for the educational integration of refugee youth in San Diego, the boycott of 1 day without migrants, Startbrok project from the Netherlands, the Syrian woman Yusra Mardini, who swam to save the lives of 20 people in the Aegean Sea, Muslim student Fatima Knight from South Africa, UNTAPO Center, the Living Library Project from Turkey, campaign of Israeli Ronnie Aiden, Not Hate But Hope initiative from UK, Black Lives Matter campaign in Rwanda, Future Vision Acrobacy Group, the Taayush group supporting Palestinians in Israel, Rana Choir established by the Jewish and Arab women. Against the Wall in West Bank, Palestinian marchers that started working from Bil village. From Turkey, Haber Nöbeti journalists. From Armenia, Vahan Haçatıryan. From Bahrain, Ali Abdulaman. As the first MP to talk about the Yazidi massacre in the Iraqi parliament, Vian Daksil. Teacher Ayşe Çelik, who went on live TV connection to talk about the conflict in Diyarbakır. Academics for Peace initiative from Turkey. The Robin Hood Army in India. Komal Ahmad and Feeding Forward from US. Çorbada Tuzum Olsun Association from Istanbul. Fethullah Üzümcüoğlu, Esra Polat couple, who distributed food to refugees in Kilis. Syrian women and refugee kitchen in Ok Meydanı. Solidarity chain established to bring food to refugees. Kaas and Han, the Dutch artists from Brasilia, and Galata Photography House. From Izmir, Saadet Özkan, who revealed a case of sexual abuse in her school. Tamara, Ukrainian ballet teacher in Gazi. The Blind Photographers Project from Turkey. Bremen Mızıkacıları Percussion Group from Turkey. Sanela Lumonic from Bosnia-Herzegovina, so that Zaid could attend school, teaching the teachers sign language. Deaf Rap Group. International Transparency and Anti-Corruption Center from Armenia. Oy ve Ötesi, Vote and Beyond movement from Turkey that worked during the 2014 elections in Turkey. Panagan Iragan Group from Armenia. Lost Daughters of Dersim and Dersim 38 documentaries, Nezahat Gündoğan and Çayan Demirel. Berke Baş, who told the story of her Armenian grandmother who was forced to convert into Islam. Those who protested against thousands of lost people on the 40th anniversary of the Pinochet's coup in Chile. Adamer Association from Palestine, Vyasa Human Rights Center from Belarus, the initiative with detained students, solidarity with detained students in Turkey, British Alexander MacLean with the African Prison Project, Amina Said, Halil Hassan couple from Iraq, You Are Not Alone One campaign, from United States of America, Todd Lester, who provided support to the artists seeking asylum in the Western countries. Victoria Emma from Nigeria, working as a person bringing hope for children with AIDS. Activists from UK, Oxford University. Wang Yan, who saved the lives of 2,000 dogs by turning a slaughterhouse into a shelter. Those young people who lost their lives in Suruç with a suicide bomb attack as they were bringing aid to Kobane. Tirvei Achayan from Mumbai. Dr. Benjamin Lebrot and floating doctors bringing medical aid to Haiti, Honduras, and Panama. James Kyoto from Uganda. Dr. George Spivele, bringing free of charge medical assistance to the regions in Africa. Women of Muğlalı village who protected their villages, rivers, mountains, and shores against the hydroelectrical power plants. Rosnia Montana villagers, the Green Art Win Association, Havana from Rize and local people, Sioux tribe from North Dakota, Stink protesters from Beirut, the Recycle Orchestra from Paraguay. The Japanese Prime Minister sold nuclear power plant to Turkey. The Japanese people who prepared a video of apology because their prime minister actually sold nuclear power plants to Turkey, Kıymet Peker from Turkey, and activists playing volleyball over barbed wire. Mehmet Nesim Öner, who lost his arm and eye after stepping on a mine and who became the European champion in 1500 meters.
soğeri tever mayramudi soryanleru yedeven kentet sat kolakan gıvasen zirani soğeri tever mayramudi
Parierego, iyi akşamlar, hoş geldiniz. Umut etmeye bu kadar...
At a time when we need to keep our hope alive, it is imperative that we award those who speak the language of peace and reconciliation, and we are delighted to be playing for you at such a special occasion. As Laram has also said, we need to keep our hope alive, and we need to stand up tall at challenging times like this, especially at a country like Turkey, where even mothers' pain is stamped upon, where people are turning a blind eye to suffering. Now we would like to dedicate the next song to those who suffer such atrocities, and to those who have suffered in the last 10 years, and then we will be saying goodbye to you, and we would like to thank you very much once again for giving us this opportunity.
Sen hiç geçmedin karanlık sokaklardan, öfkeyle çıkılan nefret yollarından, kavgayı bilmezdin, oynardın yalancıktan, hemen kaç kurtar kendini açlıktan.
hangi delinin seçimi, omuzlarını ağrıtır evin geçimi ve kapını çalar abiler alır gider seni. Karanlıktan, ateşten ve dumandan, bileklerinde kelepçe işte böyle başlar körebe oradan her şey. Karanlıktan, ateşten ve dumandan, bileklerinde kelepçe işte böyle başlar körebe. Kahraman oldun derken, sırtını sıvazlarken sanırsın vazgeçmek için çok erken. Fitnenin nefesi yokşar bedenini, artık aynada gördün başka biri.
Պարիդարի Hrant աղբարիկ, բարի ժամանակ ծեր բոլորին։
Շնորհակալություն։
Womank topluluğuna teşekkür.
We would like to thank Womank for performing for us. This band was established in 2013 in Istanbul, and they brought a new breath of fresh air to Armenian music here in Turkey. We would like to thank Womank once again.
Ve şimdi bu...
And now, let us look at this year's inspirations.
Gebze'de Ocak 2018'de anayasal haklarını kullanarak sendikalaşmaya başlayan yaklaşık 120 flormar emekçisi kadın fabrikanın önünde direniş başlattı. İşverenler, direnen işçilerin çalışmaya devam eden arkadaşlarıyla irtibatını kesmek için fabrikanın girişine branda ve dikenli tel çektirdi. Başta kadınlar olmak üzere birçok kişi flormar ürünlerini boykot ederek iş yerindeki kötü çalışma koşullarına ve cinsiyetçiliğe karşı koyan emekçilere destek oldu. Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nde Florida'daki bir lisede eski bir öğrencinin silahlı saldırısında 17 kişinin ölmesinin ardından 50 eyalette birçok öğrenci protesto yürüyüşü ve oturma eylemi yaptı. Sabah 10'da okullarından çıkan öğrenciler Beyaz Saray'ın önüne silahlı saldırıda hayatını kaybeden çocuklara ait 7.000 çift ayakkabı bırakarak bireysel silahlanmanın kısıtlanmasını talep ettiler ve Hayatımız için Yürüyüş gösterilerini geniş destek alan bir kampanyaya dönüştürdüler. Endonezyalı Dr. Gamal Albin Said, nüfusun %60'ının sağlık sigortasının bulunmadığı ülkede yoksulların sağlık hizmetlerine erişebilmesi için bir mikro sigorta programı oluşturdu. Çöp Klinik Sigortaları adlı program, yoksul hastalara getirdikleri çöp karşılığında sağlık hizmeti sunuyor. Sistem, biriktirilen organik çöplerden elde edilen gübreyle pet şişe ve karton gibi geri dönüştürülebilir malzemelerin satışından elde edilen parayla sürdürülüyor. İstanbul'da Ayşegül Serenga Taşkent ve Delizia Flacavento'nun kurduğu Sicilya Demirspor, kadın erkek birlikte mücadele pratiğini geliştirmek ve iyi futbol oynamak için karma takımlar oluşturarak endüstriyel futboldakinin aksine skor tutulmayan, küfürsüz, faalsüz, hakemsiz maçlar yapıyor. Ekip köylerde de kadınlar ve erkeklerin eşit olarak yer aldığı karşılaşmalar düzenleyerek sporun bir dayanışma alanı olabileceğini gösteriyor. Meksika'daki La Patrona kasabasında kadınlar trenlerle Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'ne gitmeye çalışan göçmenlere su ve yiyecek dağıtıyor. Tren yolunun kenarında bekleyen kadınlar hareket halindeki trende bulunanlara önceden hazırladıkları gıda paketlerini fırlatıyor. 1995'te Norma Romero'nun başlattığı girişimi Las Patronas yani azizeler olarak anılan 15 kişilik bir grup sürdürüyor. İran'ın başkenti Tahran'da Vida Movahed'in bir sopanın ucuna bağladığı beyaz başörtüsünü sallayarak hicap zorunluluğunu protesto etmesi geniş bir kampanyaya ilham verdi. Aktivist gazeteci Masih Alinejad'ın başlattığı Benim Saklı Özgürlüğüm kampanyasıyla kadınlar çarşamba günleri beyaz kıyafetleri ve ellerinde beyaz başörtüleriyle göründükleri fotoğrafları sosyal medyada paylaşıyor. Alinejad, erkekleri de Beyaz Çarşamba adını alan bu sivil itaatsizlik hareketine katılmaya çağırıyor. Kocaeli Üniversitesi'nden ihraç edilen barış imzacısı akademisyenler ve onlarla dayanışma içinde olan görevdeki akademisyenlerin kurduğu Kocaeli Dayanışma Akademisi, KODA, ücretsiz dersler ve atölyelerle toplumun her kesimine kapılarını açıyor. KODA, 2018 bahar döneminde Üniversite Öğretim Üyeleri Derneği'nin işbirliğiyle alternatif bir akademi niteliğindeki Hayat Bilgisi Okulu'nu faaliyete geçirdi. Kenya'da Samburu kabilesi üyesi Rebecca ve 15 tecavüz mağdurunun kurduğu Umaja Uwaso Kadın Köyü, ataerkil kültür, aile içi şiddet, tecavüz, çocuk evliliği ve sünnetten kaçan kadınların çocuklarıyla birlikte yaşadığı bir sığınak. Bir safari turizmi kampı işleten ve zanaat ürünleri yapıp satan köy sakinleri, dayanışma ve öz savunma amacıyla oluşturdukları topluluğu, erkeklerin engelleme çabalarına karşın ayakta tutuyor, çevre köylerde düzenledikleri toplantılarla kadınları haklarını aramaya teşvik ediyor. İsrail'de Arapçayı ülkenin ikinci resmi dili olmaktan çıkaran Yahudi Ulus Devlet Yasası 19 Temmuz'da parlamentodan geçmesinin ardından Tel Aviv'de çeşitli sivil toplum kuruluşlarının birlikte düzenlediği eylemlerle protesto edildi. Habima Meydanı'nda bir araya gelen binlerce Yahudi ve Arap sahneden verilen toplu Arapça dersine katılarak müzisyenlerin seslendirdiği İbranice ve Arapça şarkılara birlikte eşlik ederek yasaya meydan okudu. İstanbul'daki Kanuni Sultan Süleyman Eğitim ve Araştırma Hastanesi'ne çalışan sosyal hizmet uzmanı İclal N, 2017'nin başından itibaren görev yaptığı 5 ay içinde hastaneye yaklaşık 250 hamile çocuk geldiğini, 39'u Suriyeli, 38'i 15 yaşından küçük olan bu çocuklardan 115'i hakkında polise ve sosyal hizmet birimine bilgi verilmediğini fark etti. Durumu hastane yönetimine ve savcılığa bildiren İclal N'nin görev yeri 2 defa değiştirildi. Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nde mültecilerin çocuklarını ailelerinden ayıran göçmen politikalarına karşı düzenlenen yüz binlerce insanın katıldığı protestolar sonucunda Başkan Trump, ailelerin göç merkezlerinde birlikte kalacağı sözünü vermişti. Ancak yönetim, ailelerinden ayrılan 2000'den fazla çocuk için harekete geçmeyince birçok yurttaş "Families belong together", aileler bir arada bulunmalı sloganıyla ülkenin çeşitli şehirlerinde eylemlere başladı. Sloganın yazılı olduğu pankartları taşıyan yaklaşık 600 kadın, başkent Washington DC'deki gösteriler sırasında gözaltına alındı. Ermenistan'da 31 Mart 2018'de Nikol Paşinyan'ın ülkedeki oligarşik yapıyı ve yolsuzlukları protesto etmek amacıyla Gümrü'den başladığı yürüyüş, kadın erkek, yaşlı genç, çocuk, her yaş ve kesimden yüz binlerce insanın katıldığı renkli, yaratıcı ve barışçı eylemlere dönüştü. Ermenistan halkının demokrasi, adalet ve şeffaflık talebiyle yaklaşık bir ay boyunca şiddetten uzak, şenlik havasında sürdürdüğü hareket, dünyadaki insan hakları ve demokrasi savunucularına ilham verdi. Suriyeli doktor Amani Balur, ülkenin savaştan en çok etkilenen bölgelerinden olan Kuzey Guta'da bir hastane işletiyor. Bir kadın olarak mesleğini icra ederken ayrımcılığa ve eleştirilere maruz kalıyor, bazı hastalar kadın olduğu için onunla konuşmuyor. Ağır savaş koşulları altında Suriye'de kalıp çalışmayı tercih eden Balur, kadınların bu ortamda varlıklarını ve etkinliklerini sürdürmelerinin toplumsal değişim açısından hayati olduğuna inanıyor. İsveç'te 24 Temmuz'da Göteborg Havalimanı'nda Afganistanlı bir göçmenin sınır dışı edilmek üzere bindirildiği uçakta bulunan 21 yaşındaki İsveçli öğrenci Elin Erson, yapılanın yasa dışı olduğunu söyleyerek sınır dışı kararını geri aldırana kadar uçağın içinde ayakta bekledi. Genç aktivistin sosyal medyadan canlı olarak yayınladığı ve diğer yolcuların da desteğini kazanan eylemi bir sivil itaatsizlik başarısı olarak tarihe geçti. Türkiye'de Burak Acerakis'in başlattığı UP Sendrom projesi, Down sendromlu çocuğu için rapor alamayan, yanlış rapor alan veya coğrafi koşullar nedeniyle uzman terapistlere ulaşamayan ailelerle gönüllü uzmanları bir araya getiriyor. Bu genetik anomalinin onu keşfeden doktorun soyadıyla, yani aşağı anlamındaki Down kelimesiyle anılmasının yarattığı olumsuz algıyı kırmak için UP Sendrom olarak adlandırılan girişim, Down sendromluların hakları konusunda farkındalığı yükseltiyor. Mısır'da 1984'te kurulan Çevre Koruma Derneği, kadınlara okuma yazma ve fabrika atıklarından ürünler yapma eğitimi veriyor. Kahire'nin çöp şehri olarak bilinen bölgede kadınlar fabrikalardan her gün gelen 7.000 ton kumaş artığıyla halı, banyo paspası, masa örtüsü gibi ürünler yapıp satıyorlar. Dernek halen yaklaşık 200 kişiye geri dönüşüm konusunda eğitim veriyor. Barış, eşitlik ve adalet ilkelerini benimseyip yaşamanın bir parçası haline getiren ve bu ilkeler doğrultusunda bağımsız sivil toplum faaliyetlerine sunduğu değerli katkılar sayesinde pek çok insanın hayatına dokunan Osman Kavala, kurucusu olduğu Anadolu Kültür aracılığıyla insan hakları, kültürel haklar ve barış için çalışan sayısız kişi ve kurumu destekledi, bir araya getirdi. Savaşın ortasında çocuklar için fotoğraf atölyeleri, edebiyat ve sinema günleri düzenledi. 2011 Van depreminin hemen ardından köyleri dolaşarak ihtiyaç listesi hazırladı, gerekenleri temin edip dağıttı. 2014 yazında IŞİD saldırıları nedeniyle Türkiye'ye kaçan yüz binlerce Ezidinin yaşadığı kamplardaki ihtiyaçların karşılanması için yine devredeydi. İnsan hakları alanında yaptığı çalışmalarla hem Türkiye'de hem de uluslararası alanda saygınlık kazandı. 18 Ekim 2017'de gözaltına alındı. Hakkında herhangi bir iddianame olmadığı halde 319 gündür Silivri cezaevinde tutuluyor. Asılsız haberlerle uzun tutukluluk süresiyle hayatı karartılmak istenen Osman Kavala'yı çok özlüyor, onun bir an önce serbest bırakılmasını talep ediyoruz.
Evet, ışıklarda.
Yes, some of these were our inspirations, some of which are with us here this evening. So let's give them a big applause, and we'd like to ask them to we'd like to ask them to keep on inspiring us, because we need hope. And now let us continue with some more music. They have already inspired us, and in 2012 in Paris, this initiative was brought to life by Turkish, Armenian and US Americans. It's a musical collective, Metz Bazaar, are now going to play for us.
En semant la peur, distillant le feu de la haine à la peine. Trop jeunes qui appellent à l'hôtel hostile, on s'oublie par figure de style. Expulsion ou bien exil. L'ignorance est un récit de non-dit, sous le récif de l'oubli. Tyrannie contre repli. Indifférent, habilité à voir les murs, pas tout ôté, tout occupé à écouter la dure fierté qu'à tort on crée. Trop occupé à écouter la dure fierté qu'à tort on crée. Qui se répètent, et les massacres qu'on édite, et les territoires qu'on habite, et les voisins qui nous irritent, les névroses qu'on abrite, les drélalités qu'on hérite, tous ces drapeaux qu'on agite pour les cultures qu'on valide. C'est notre futur qu'on fatigue, nos enfants que l'on farine. Plus de place pour l'empathie quand le mépris devient facile. Assimile, on annihile, en toute tentative d'accalmie. Au final c'est l'espérance qu'un petit peu on assassine. On assimile, on annihile, et au final on assassine. On assimile, on annihile, et au final on assassine.
Sevgi dünyasına yalan giremez. Sevgi dünyasına yalan giremez. Gönülden sevmeyen hakka eremez. Gönülden sevmeyen hakka eremez. Bakar ama perdelidir göremez. Bakar ama perdelidir göremez. Perdeyi kaldıran sevgidir sevgi. Perdeyi kaldıran sevgidir sevgi. Sevgi doldur badeleri içeri. Sevgilere ekelim sevgi biçelim. Sevgi dolsun her nefeste içeri. Sevgilere ekelim sevgi biçelim. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şaryavriye. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şaryavriye. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire. Pesan tıraş mı nenin, harsa min hakkat senin. Pesan tıraş mı nenin, harsa min hakkat senin. Dabri vran istela, harsa jana min hasni. Dabri vran istela, harsa jana min hasni. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şan yavrige. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şan yavrige. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire. Şakar kimi kaxtırız, arif kimi şaddakis. Şakar kimi kaxtırız, arif kimi şaddakis. Nedirim hokkutuna, artınam ki tuniminiz. Nedirim hokkutuna, artınam ki tuniminiz. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şad yavrige. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire. Horodi, morodi, bir harsız şad yavrige. Horodi, morodi, bir pesan harpesire.
Çok teşekkürler.
Şunara gelen çok teşekkür ederiz. Met Pazar olarak
As a band, we promote the struggle for peace and for solidarity, and we are delighted to be here to play at a special night organized by an organization, an association, a foundation that has been working in this regard for the last decade. We would like to call out to the Hrant Dink Foundation and Ms. Raquel Dink especially, and we do hope that music and arts bring people together all across the world, as well as in Turkey, and also illuminate our fight for equality and human rights. Thank you.
Evet, umutlarımızı...
Yes, we would like to thank Karin Katrancıoğlu and Salken Child Choir, Vesmazar and Womang for giving us hope. As you all know, Hrant Dink Award is presented every year to a national and international person, organization, or individual. Before we proceed with this year's awards, let's take a look at the award winners, laureates of previous years.
Peş peşe yayınlarıyla kamuoyunun askeri darbe girişimlerini mahkum etmesine katkı yapan gazeteci Alper Görmüş.
Journalist Alper Görmüş and Amira Haas, living in Palestine. Courageous Israeli journalist. The Turkish conscientious objectors and previous Spanish prosecutor Baltazar Sanskor. Journalist and writer Ahmet Altan and Lydia Coho, who fought against international human traffickers, Mexican journalist. Ismail Beşikçi, who devoted his entire life to the solution of the Kurdish problem. International Memorial Society from Russia. Saturday Mothers, despite all obstacles and pressure, who never gave up on looking for their loved ones. Natasha Kandic, from human rights activist who documented human rights violations in Yugoslavia. Şebnem Korur, Fincancı, forensic expert, and Angie Zelter, who made great struggles and carried out campaigns for the ban of nuclear weapons. Chaos GL, working for a world free of homophobia. Samar Badawi, who fought for the right to vote in Saudi Arabia for women. Diyarbakır Bar Association, who worked for human rights at the heart of the conflicts. Teresa Kachindamato, who helped early marriages be banned in Malawi, changing the lives of many young people. Eren Keskin, who is now a symbol of the human rights struggle in Turkey, lawyer, activist. IVV, a contemporary artist trying to create awareness in many social issues, mainly refugees. Well, individuals or organizations who are going to receive the International or National Hrant Dink Award are identified and selected by an international jury. So we would like to thank all the members of different juries who made contributions throughout these 10 years. And now we will see the jury members for the 2018 Hrant Dink Awards. Eren Keskin, laureate of 2017 Hrant Dink Award. Artist Ai Weiwei, laureate of the award in 2017. Albi Saks, Ayşe Kadıoğlu, political scientist. Ercan Kesal, writer, actor, director. Özlem Dalkıran, human rights activist. Ronald Grigorsoni, historian. Sarkis, artist. Musician and political activist. Serj Tankian. Women's rights activist Zainab Salbi. President of Hrant Dink Foundation Raquel Dink. And now, it's time to present the first award. And in order to present the award, I would like to invite Eren Keskin and Ercan Kesal, members of the jury.
Ve 2018 yılı Uluslararası
First laureate of 2018 Hrant Dink Award.
1957'de Ankara'da doğdu. 1974-80 yılları arasında Orta Doğu Teknik Üniversitesi İşletme Bölümünde okudu. 1978'de sosyalist faaliyetleri nedeniyle, 1980'de ise darbenin ardından tüm muhalif kesimleri hedef alan operasyonlar kapsamında 2 kez cezaevine girdi. 2 davadan da beraat etti. 1979 yılında Demokrat gazetesinde başladığı gazetecilik hayatına 1983'ten itibaren Nokta dergisinde devam etti. 1980 askeri darbesinin toplumda yarattığı ağır tahribatın onarılması için çalışmalar yapan İnsan Hakları Derneği'nin kurucu üyeleri arasında yer aldı. Derneğin İstanbul şubesinde cezaevi koşulları, ifade ve örgütlenme özgürlüğü, işkence suçları üzerine çalıştı ve raporlar hazırladı. 1990'da işkence mağdurlarına destek olmak amacıyla kurulan Türkiye İnsan Hakları Vakfı'nı yurt dışındaki toplantılarda temsil etmeye başladı. Türkiye'deki insan haklarının durumu üzerine konuşmalar yaptı. Aynı yıl bir grup aydın, yazar, siyasetçi, gazeteci ve aktivistle beraber temel hak ve özgürlükler, barış, demokrasi, çoğulculuk alanlarında çalışan Helsinki Yurttaşlar Derneği'nin kuruluşuna katıldı. Burada uzun yıllar yönetim kurulu üyeliği yaptı. Türkiye'de sivil toplum alanında mülteciler konusunda yürütülen ilk çalışma olan ve bugün faaliyetlerine Mülteci Hakları Merkezi adında bağımsız bir kurum olarak devam eden Mülteciler için Hukuki Destek Programı'nın kurucularından oldu. 1995 yılında Uluslararası Af Örgütü Türkiye Şubesi'nin kurucu kadrosunda yer aldı. Uzun yıllar birçok dergi ve gazetede muhabirlik, editörlük, haber ve yazı işleri müdürlüğü, köşe yazarlığı ve yayın yönetmenliği yaptı. İnsan hakları, demokrasi, toplumsal mücadeleler, Kürt meselesi, aidiyetler ve özgürlükler üzerine yazılar yazdı, üniversitelerde ve çeşitli girişimlerde gazetecilik üzerine dersler ve seminerler verdi. Toplumsal Araştırmalar ve Kültür Sanat için vakıf, Barış Meclisi ve Barış Vakfı'nın kuruluşunda ve çalışmalarında yer aldı. 2000'li yılların başından itibaren Kürt sorunu, barış ve geçmişle yüzleşme konularına odaklanan çalışmalar yaptı. 2011'de bir grup aktivistle beraber çatışma dönemlerinde ve otoriter yönetimler altında yaşanan hak ihlallerini açığa çıkarmayı ve söz konusu geçmişle hesaplaşılmasına katkıda bulunmayı hedefleyen Hakikat Adalet Hafıza Merkezi'ni kurdu. Merkezin eş direktörü ve iletişim programının yöneticisi olarak Kürt meselesiyle bağlantılı insan hakkı ihlallerinin ve zorla kaybetme suçunun tanınmasına, bu konularda toplumsal hafızanın güçlenmesine yönelik çalışmalar yürüttü. Kanun hükmünde kararname ile kapatılan Özgür Gündem gazetesinin başlattığı kampanyaya destek vererek bir günlüğüne nöbetçi genel yayın yönetmeni olduğu için 18 ay hapse mahkum edildi. Cezaevinden denetimli serbestlik hakkından faydalanarak 21 Ekim 2017'de çıktı. 2018'de merkezi Stockholm'da bulunan Yurttaşlık Hakları Savunucuları adlı kuruluşun her yıl kendi kişisel güvenliğini tehlikeye atma pahasına insan haklarını savunmak için mücadele eden kişilere verdiği ödüle layık görüldü. Yıllardır Türkiye'de süregiden birçok çatışmalı meselede barış, demokrasi ve çoğulculuk ekseninde çözümler üretmek için çaba gösterdiği, her türlü riski göze alarak sözünü esirgemeden insan haklarını savunduğu, ifade ve örgütlenme özgürlüğünün tesisi, hak ihlallerinin ve işkence suçlarının açığa çıkarılması, zorla kaybetme suçunun tanınması için mücadele ettiği, geçmişle yüzleşme ve diyalog odaklı yazılarıyla toplumsal hafızanın güçlenmesine, bu alandaki farkındalığın yükselmesine katkıda bulunduğu için Murat Çelikkan.
Murat Çelikkan.
Çok teşekkür ederim.
Thank you very much. I am truly honored to receive this award. As you have heard, this is the second award I have received this year, and when you're in your 60s and when you end up in prison for another time, you find yourself receiving a number of awards. I never got any awards for my adventures in prison when I was in my 20s, and nobody does. Of course, if you continue ending up in prison in your 60s, it means that you're well and truly naughty and that you refuse to slow down. Joking aside, I really would like to thank you for this award. I will always cherish this award, and I will cherish this award till the end of my life. And there is a good reason for that, and the reason is that this is called the Hrant Dink Awards. And this is a big honor, and not just because I have had the opportunity to get to know Hrant, and to also have had the opportunity, the good fortune to have worked with him. This name, just like struggle for human rights, charges you with a mission with no end. It's really true, 11 years have passed since Hrant was killed in 2007, and the perpetrators are still being judged. Despite all his lawyers' efforts, we're still far away from exposing all of the true perpetrators. And let's say that happens, will the whole truth be laid bare? That will lead to a continuing mission to expose all of Turkey's murders, conspiracies, assassinations, massacres, bombs, and a deep state strengthened with no adjectives but bombs, the state itself, and to convict it. It's not over. There's an account to settle for living and being killed as a minority in Turkey. There's the Armenian genocide. There's the racism and discrimination that have become a daily part of our lives. There's getting the sentence, Ayşe throw the ball to Agop in elementary school readers.
Tabii ki Hrant Dink isminin Türkiye'deki...
Of course, the name Hrant Dink is on a par with human rights struggle in Turkey, and that is no coincidence. This award bears the name of a good person. The award I am receiving today bears the name of someone who was slain. And these sentences actually were first uttered by my dear journalist Ahmet Altan when he accepted his award back in 2011. Ahmet Altan is in prison since September 10th, 2016. Ismail Beşikçi, who received the award in 2012, spent his time in prison in a way above and beyond any normal person and any lifespan. The Saturday mothers who received the award in 2013 after being targeted by the Ministry of the Interior are trying to continue their quest for truth and justice, a quest they have pursued for 700 weeks while being arrested, assaulted, banned and criminalized. And as for the other recipients, after Şebnem Korur Fincancı received her award, she, just like myself, she went into prison for her solidarity with the Özgür Gündem daily. Fortunately, she is out. Kaos GL, all manner of LGBT demonstrations and events in Ankara are now forbidden, and this organization struggles to continue their efforts despite this ban. Their pride marches, which drew wide participation with no incidents despite the presence of security forces, can no longer be held. It should be added that Kaos GL founder Ariel Erol was imprisoned for a week and still out under judicial control. Tahir Elçi, chairman of the Diyarbakır Bar Association, was assassinated in 2015. The bar continues its struggle for justice. For him, they are trying to pierce the shield of impunity that is the rule in Turkey for this and other sorts of similar murders, as they are for the still blockaded Sur neighborhood. Eren Keskin, beloved to all of us, is facing not only a fine of hundreds of thousands of lira, but hundreds of years in prison as well. So it's safe to say that we've become a community of people who have gone into prison and received the award, and received the award and gone into prison, and that the awards are right on the mark. But this goes hand in hand with the steady rise of nationalism, fascism, and racism that are diseases spread all throughout the world. In the 20th century, human rights and democracy gained in esteem through regret for genocides and world wars. Now in the 21st century, they seem to have lost this esteem. Wars, migrations brought about by wars and poverty, increasing xenophobia in the West, enmity towards foreigners, and nationalist, racist regimes intolerant of differences traditionally attributed to human nature, but actually originating in Europe, are becoming as frequent in the West as they are in the East. More and more fascist-leaning administrations that try to eliminate diversity in their societies are constricting and smothering the civilian sector in which democratic societies, politics, and human rights flourish. In such an environment, politics itself becomes impossible, just as in Turkey. Institutions of justice, which should be our assurance against such practices, have been completely derailed. One by one, the mechanisms that provide protection to the individual against the state are being demolished. We live in a country that is trying to criminalize every humane, democratic, and peaceable demand. Like justice, truth is also being overtaken by tyranny. It's becoming difficult to talk about truth or its power, and easier to talk about the power of beliefs. We live in a Turkey dominated by whatever those in power want people to actually believe. Truth is now dictated by those with the power to enforce belief in what they want people to believe, and justice functions in complete subjection to this power, which is to say, it does not function at all. Yet despite this negativity, those who pursue truth have not ceased to exist. They do not become exhausted. They do not allow societal memory to form in the way dictated by those in power. They do not allow justice to function like a scourge of the administration or the obstruction of truth. Whatever their jobs and professions, they are defenders of human rights. I am here today because certain people stand guard at the Human Rights Association branch office every day in case there may be an application. I am here today because there are lawyers who go to the door of the police station or security when people are arrested. There are academics who give their signature so that people do not die. People who gather for a pride parade despite all oppression, obstruction, and bans. People who go and provide support to the Saturday mothers in Istanbul, Diyarbakır, Cizre, and Batman. There are those who write news about them, who tally the violations, who seek justice, who try to hold people to account. There are those who reject the mass selfishness called nationalism, who resist the spirit of the times, who refuse to submit to the pervasive mediocrity of evil and listen to the voice of their conscience. I am here because despite being sentenced to this civil death against this policy of blood and death, there are people who raise their voices for peace. It is to them that I owe my presence here today, and my receipt of this award today to the Leman Yurtsevers, the Gülseren Yorelis, the Raci Biliciz, the Filiz Karakuşuz, the Sevim Salihoglu's, the Ümit Biçers, to them and hundreds and thousands of people like them. To all those who make the struggle for human rights their lives. This award is the result of a collective struggle. I share it with all my colleagues at Hafıza Merkezi Memory Center, with Emel Atatürk Sevimli, with whom our struggle for human rights goes back farthest, my co-director at work and my director at home, Meltem Aslan, my friend Osman Kavala, who has been held in prison with no trial or indictment, and everyone who is in jail as a result of their struggle for rights. I would like to believe that I'm receiving this award because I'm a good person.
Bugün sadece Türkiye'de değil,
It is the struggle for human rights that will light the torch of hope against hopelessness, not only in Turkey but in the entire world. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. In the name of hope, I accept this award. Thank you.
Eren Keskin'e.
We'd like to thank Eren Keskin, Ercan Kesal as well. And now, we would like to congratulate Murat Çelikkan once again, who we know is truly a good person.
Ödüllerden ikincisi.
Now it's time to present the second award. And to present the award, I would like to invite Albi Saks and Hrant Dink, members of the jury.
Albi Saks.
Albi Saks is going to make a speech. Please move forward this side for your speech.
This has been an evening of great surprises for me. I'm so used to human rights events being sad and gloomy and heavy. And this has been an evening of joy and celebration and artistry. I'm also surprised that I've been asked to speak. I was told I merely had to shake hands. But I love hearing my own voice, and so I will accept the invitation. It's been extremely emotional for me to spend the past 48 hours here in Turkey. I was invited here in 2011. It was an encouraging year. A new constitution was being adopted. People were optimistic. And it's clear there have been many setbacks and many disappointments. But what I feel this evening is that spirit that brought about change, that ended the military control and domination of decades, that spirit of total determination for the simple things of life, for justice, for peace, for human brotherhood and sisterhood, these elements that make us human, that give us a sense of the worthwhile quality of living, I feel that same spirit is still strong. It's still powerful in Turkey, in the United States of America, in my country, South Africa. And it's that spirit that will sustain us. It's that spirit that is never defeated. It's that spirit that continues, adapts, changes, devolves to new generations, a spirit that's embedded in our culture, in our aspirations. I feel it so strongly affirmed this evening. I'm so glad I was invited. I'm so happy to be part and parcel of this magnificent, wonderful, humane event. Thank you.
Ve şimdi de 2018 yılı uluslararası.
And now, the other winner of the 2018 International Hrant Dink Award.
Haklarını savunmak ve korumak amacıyla 2013 yılında Radya El Mutabakel ve Abdülreşit El Fakih tarafından kuruldu. Yaşam, sağlık, yiyecek ve barınma haklarının ihlal edildiği, zorla kaybetmeler ve keyfi tutuklamalarla hak savunucularının baskı altına alındığı savaş ortamında bu ihlalleri tespit edip durdurmak için mücadele ediyor. Bu alanda doğru ve tarafsız bilgi üretmek üzere gençlerden oluşan bağımsız bir çalışma ekibiyle saha araştırmaları, izleme ve belgeleme çalışmaları yapıyor. Topladığı veriler ışığında uluslararası insan hakları hukuku çerçevesinde değerlendirmeler hazırlıyor. Ürettiği çözüm önerilerini ve taleplerini ilgili kurumlara ve yetkililere iletiyor, bunların kabul edilmesi ve uygulanması için lobi faaliyetleri yürütüyor. İnsan hakkı ihlallerinde sorumluların tespit edilip adaletin sağlanması, bu ihlalleri önlemeye dönük mevzuat ve politikalar geliştirilmesi yönünde çaba gösteriyor. Filmler, broşürler ve sosyal medya aracılığıyla kamuoyunda farkındalık yaratmaya, kişileri hakları konusunda bilinçlendirmeye, insan hakları alanında uzmanlar yetiştirmeye çalışıyor. Yemen'de yaşanan felaketin uluslararası kamuoyuna aktarılmasında önemli rol oynuyor. Bir yanda başkent Sana ve bazı önemli şehirleri ele geçiren Husi silahlı güçlerinin, öbür yanda Suudi Arabistan öncülüğünde ülkeyi havadan aralıksız bombalayan uluslararası koalisyonun yer aldığı savaş koşullarında insan hakları ihlallerini belgelemeye çabalıyor. Birleşmiş Milletler'in dünyadaki en kötü insani kriz olarak tanımladığı savaş ortamında çoğu kadın ve çocuk binlerce sivilin öldürüldüğünü, yaralandığını, hastanelerin, evlerin, parkların, pazar yerlerinin ve okulların tahrip edildiğini dünya kamuoyuna duyurdu. Husi kuvvetlerinin kara mayınları kullanımını durdurması, mayınların temizlenmesi ve mayın kurbanlarına tazminat ödenmesi için çalışıyor. Görev yaparken keyfi olarak gözaltına alınan ve kaybedilen gazetecilerin durumunu takip ediyor. Hazırladığı raporlar, Af Örgütü ve İnsan Hakları İzleme Örgütü gibi önde gelen insan hakları kuruluşları tarafından referans alınıyor. Yemen'de yeni gelişen sivil toplum kuruluşları, önce siyasi kutuplaşma, ardından savaş ortamında susturulur ve bağımsızlıklarını kaybederken, çatışan taraflar bağımsız insan hakları örgütlerine yönelik karalama kampanyaları yürütürken, çalışmalarını ısrarla sürdürüyor. Güvenli seyahatin neredeyse imkansız hale geldiği ülkede, hak ihlallerini yerinde belgelemeye uğraşıyor. Sosyal medyayı etkili şekilde kullanarak, insan hakları ihlallerine ilişkin raporlarını dünyaya duyuruyor. Şehirlerin bombalandığı ve binlerce sivilin hayatını kaybettiği Yemen Savaşı'nda yaşananları uluslararası alanda duyurduğu, güç yaşam koşulları ve hayati tehlike nedeniyle birçok kişinin ülkeyi terk ettiği bir dönemde bağımsız ve tarafsız belgeleme çalışmaları yapıp hak ihlallerine karşı cesaretle mücadele ettiği için Mwatana İnsan Hakları Örgütü.
Mwatana İnsan Hakları.
On behalf of Mwatana Human Rights Organization, Radyan Hutamakel.
Congratulations.
Hi. Good evening. When we in Mwatana first received the email saying that Mwatana has been chosen for the International Hrant Dink Award, we felt happy and proud to be chosen by a respectful foundation that is based in Turkey and work hard for human rights and justice. In spite of the very big differences on the situation between Yemen and Turkey, we still share many similar difficulties as civil society. Also, when we read more about Hrant himself, about each person in the jury, we even felt happier and prouder. So, thank you. I want to say congratulations to Hrant and happy birthday to his soul. With such family, team, friends, and lovers, he can't be dead. It's not even a choice. Yesterday and today, I had the chance to know more about him, about his values, and his great influence in many people. Honestly, I couldn't stop thinking of my father, the peaceful academic and politician man who worked all his life for that democratic, civil, and justice state. He was assassinated in November 2014 while he was walking in the street. But the war in Yemen, the crazy tool of death in Yemen, deprived us of celebrating his history, values, and memories as he deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, I came to you from a country where more than 22 million people need humanitarian aid and protection. This is almost all of us. It is exactly 3/4 of us. I came to you from a country where 18 million people are food insecure, and 8.4 million of these people do not know how they will obtain their next meal. Millions of Yemenis do not have access to safe drinking water. Treatable and preventable illness become a death sentence when local health services are not working, and it is impossible in many cases to travel outside the country. 3/4 of displaced people are women and children, and about 2 million children are out of schools. 2,500 schools have been destroyed or are not being used for their original purpose. We can summarize all of this and much more of this in one famous sentence: Yemen is the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. However, we should always add to this sentence, it is not a natural crisis. It is a man-made crisis, a crisis that caused by conflict. As the conflict enters its 4th year in Yemen, horrible violations and war crimes have been committed against civilians and civilian objects. Unlawful airstrikes, blockade, indiscriminate shelling, arbitrary detention, forced disappearance, torture, attacking schools and hospitals, landmines, child recruitment, and much more. If you were now asking who exactly committing these violations in Yemen, I will answer who didn't. It is the Saudi and Emirati coalition and forces and armed groups loyal to it, Houthis and ex-President Saleh armed groups, government of President Hadi and forces and armed groups loyal to it, also countries like the US, the UK and France who are fueling the war in Yemen by selling weapons to some countries which are involved in serious violations in Yemen, particularly Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Whenever you hear about the war in Yemen and all parties to the conflict, you should always remember, in the war in Yemen, there are no heroes. We only have criminals and victims. In spite of all of this, hope is always there, and peace in Yemen is always possible. It is the desire of most Yemeni ordinary people whom until now refuse to be part of the conflict. They are still civilians and have a huge desire to live. Those people are our strength in Mwatana. We work hard because we believe that they deserve better life and they deserve justice. It is not easy to be an independent human rights NGO in the middle of armed groups while your neighbor is Saudi Arabia. However, it is more difficult not to do anything for civilians in such situation. We choose human rights to be our road toward accountability, justice, and peace. Documenting violations, providing legal assistance, and doing lots of advocacy seems like digging the wall in the middle of a horrible war. We feel that our honest work can shake the wall of war, and one day it will collapse. Peace will come, and one day Mwatana will keep working for a society where justice and full access to rights is guaranteed to everyone. Let me take you to quickly to the beginning of Mwatana. We had been trying to get the legal permission for Mwatana since 2007, and because of our human rights work as individuals, the Ministry of Social Affairs never gave it to us. Finally, in 2013, we got the official permit of Mwatana, and then we were only two, Abdul Rashid Al-Faqih, my colleague and husband, and me. Today, we are a big family. We are 70 independent, neutral, and brave men and women. Our main office is in Sana'a, but we also have field team all over Yemen. They are all youth. I might be the oldest. From here, I want to say thank you to each one of them. Thank you for the hard work you are doing in such a very difficult situation. Thank you for being patient in front of all the hate campaigns, which largely affect all of you. Thank you for being brave and strong in face of the risk you face daily in your lives and work. Mwatana deserved this award because of all of you. I'm really sad that our colleague Kamal Al-Shawish, Mwatana's field research assistant, will not be celebrating this day with us because he has been detained in Al-Hudaydah and forcibly disappeared by Houthi armed group since 14 August 2018, 1 month and 1 day until now. Yesterday, when I listened to the representative of the great Turkey gathering called Saturday Mothers, I felt very sad. I hugged her. I didn't know what to say. It is always difficult to say anything for those whose loved ones are forcibly disappeared. I know what that means. Thousands of Yemenis know what that means. Arbitrary detention and forced disappearance, torture is one of the heaviest files in Yemen, and all authorities since many years until now are involved in this file. Mothers, wives, and women in general are the most affected by all these horrible violations in Yemen. In Yemen also, there is a group of great women called Mothers of Abductees. They also working very hard to try to release their beloved ones. We at Mwatana are working very hard to push for releasing those who are detained and disappeared all over Yemen. And we have lawyers in 7 governorates. We are daily following many cases. In spite of all the darkness, there are some successful stories that encourage us to go forward. At the end of my speech, I demand freedom for all those who are arbitrarily detained and forcibly disappeared in Yemen, Turkey, and all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you, and we won't let you go down. Radial Mutawakkel, we really want to thank you. Bütün geçmiş yıl...
Well, I would like to invite to the podium all the laureates of previous year's Hrant Dink Award and the members of the jury. Now it's traditional. On our 10th year, we always invite to the podium all the people and organizations who have received awards in the previous years, we will have a family picture for the press.
Ve gelenekselleşen bir
Yes, another thing that's become traditional now. We will end this evening, as it is always the case, by watching the video of Hrant Dink receiving an award in Hamburg.
Aydınlanıyor ve biz orayı aydınlatmak için çaba sarf ediyoruz.
Vielen Dank, Hrant Dink und Ayaan.
Hrant Dink Vakfı
As the Hrant Dink Foundation, we would like to thank you for being with us on the 64th anniversary of Hrant Dink. Happy birthday, Hrant Dink. We're so lucky that you shed light on our way.